So this was a video that I did not plan on making ever. It was just something that I saw was highly requested. Like when I did my Final Girls tier list, I was like, okay, that was cool. The video did well. People like the Final Girl trope. Final Boys isn't a trope. It's not like a thing that like is in a lot of movies. Final Girl is a trope for slasher movies, but there is a bunch of Final Boys, so I figured I should put a lot of the most famous ones on a tier list and rank them because, like I said, a lot of people really wanted this video, so guess I gotta listen to the people. Okay, so here we are at the tier list. I have the same tiers that I had for the Final Girls tier list, which was like a year ago now. But at the top, we have personal favorites. This is how I differentiate between the best ones. I say personal favorites because they're my favorites, not the best ones. Then we have Badass, Survived, Meh, and Should Have Died at the bottom. Starting off, we have Marty from Cabin in the Woods. And this thing with him, he's a kind of a comic relief character. He fights with a bong. He is, he's capable enough, and his weed is what keeps him level-headed because it fights off the like drugs that they're pumping in. But then when we get to the end of the film, he is so selfish, he will not sacrifice himself to save the entirety of humanity. So that one move is going to knock him down into Survived for me. If he wasn't so funny and so charismatic for the rest of the film, I would have put him probably in the bottom, because that is, the ultimate selfish act, not sacrificing yourself. Like, he killed the Earth. He killed everybody on Earth. So that's pretty crazy. Now we have, I believe his name is Arkin from the Collector series, and call me crazy, he's going up in the top. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the Collector movies, the first and second one. They're fine. I obviously prefer the first one. But he is one of the best Final Girls. Yeah. He's one of the best Final Boys in history. He is just, like, he's so capable, and he starts off as, like, a villain breaking into this house, and then he eventually turns into, you see his sympathetic side come out as he is now trying to save them. Now we have OJ from Nope. This is not the only time you will see Daniel Kaluuya on this list. And I was not the biggest fan of Nope. I think it's probably Jordan Peele's second best movie, but I'll put him in the middle. Put him in Survived. He's fine. He's an alright character. He's likable. I like his sibling relationship, but doesn't really stand out too much. Now we have Paul Holt from Friday the 13th Part 2. Meh. He doesn't do anything. He barely even interacts with Jason. He survives by chance. He does not fight Jason at all. He just kind of is there at the end. So, yeah, putting him down there. Now we have Randy from Scream. Randy from Scream 1 is great. Randy from Scream 2, I think he's kind of annoying. So for that, I'll knock him down to here, because I can't put him any lower than that. But he's always grinded on my gears in Part 2. Now we have, I don't remember his name, but the guy from Gremlins, played by Zach Galligan. He's never been the most interesting character to me. I like his relationship with Phoebe Cates. I like his relationship with Gizmo and with his father. So he has some good relationships in here, but he kind of benefits off of other characters while not being the most interesting character himself. So I'll just put him in the middle there. Now we have R.J. McCready from The Thing. You know exactly where he's going. Straight up to the top. One of the most capable characters in all of horror. He is the one that comes up with the blood test idea. He's the one that has the flamethrower for most of the time. He's just one of the best horror protagonists we have ever gotten, and one of the few characters that, like, you are never yelling at the screen, because he's always doing the smart decision, always being the level-headed character. So, yeah, I love him. Now we have, again, don't know his name, but from The Faculty, this is Elijah Wood. I really like The Faculty, and I didn't think he was the most capable Final Boy of all time. He's certainly alright, but he isn't, getting into the action as much as I would like, so I'm going to put him in the middle here, but, not a bad one. Now we have Jesse from Freddy's Revenge, and he is always, a super controversial one. Some people hate him, some people love him. I like the character. I think he's funny. I think he's fun, so I'm going to stick him into Badass. He's a good character. He fights against Freddy. He, births Freddy at some point, which is a great scene. But yeah, I think he's a pretty good final boy. I know he's divisive, so I'm not expecting everybody to agree with me on that. But yeah, pretty good. Now we have Sam Loomis from the Halloween series, and I didn't really think of him being a final boy because he's so old and because they have a final girl. But yeah, he's definitely a final boy. And the one thing with Loomis here is that I want to put him in the top, but it's just because I'm only thinking of the first 2 Halloween movies and Halloween 4, but he's not very good in 5 or 6. So for that reason, that one little reason, I have to keep him out of the top, and I'm going to put him into Badass. Now we have Chris Washington from Get Out. Certainly better than OJ from Nope, but he's super capable. He takes out like the entire family in the end of the movie. He has the smarts to rip apart the chair and put the cotton in his ears so that he can block out the teacup noise. So he's smart, he's capable, and he kills a bunch of people. So that seems to me like one of the best final boys ever. I'm putting him up into the top tier. Now we have Alex from Final Destination. I've never been the biggest fan of Final Destination. You know, I love the scene in the cabin because of how, like, insane it is that he's, like, eating dog food to survive death, and there's, like, it's weird. It's a weird scene, but I've always thought that was pretty fun. But I just don't see the hype with this character. Obviously, I love Devon Sawa, but I'm just going to put him in the middle. Now we have Reckless Reggie from Friday the 13th Part 5, and he is underrated final boy, but he doesn't do as much. He obviously fights off, what does he have? Is it like a tractor or whatever? He's driving the big machinery, so I like him, and he has a great horror movie, Scream, but I'm only going to put him in the middle. Now we have Ash Williams, and this one could get me in trouble, because I'm putting Ash into Should Have Died, man. I just have always thought he's completely insufferable. I'm kidding. Obviously, I'm joking. He's going up to the top. Despite my own personal grievances with the character, he's not one of my favorite horror characters of all time, but if you put him anywhere besides the top, it is a disrespect to the character, because when people think of Final Boys, they think of Ash Williams. Even I do, and I don't like this character all that much. I think he's a little bit annoying, just a little bit. So if it was up to me, I wouldn't put him in the top, but it's Ash Williams. You can't not put him in the top. Now we have Chief Brody from Jaws, and he's a badass. He's the one that eventually takes down the shark in the end. He's fighting the entire time. He's fighting against the mayor to try and get this beach shut down. So I'm putting him into badass. I wouldn't say he's quite the top tier character, but you get some characterization with him, with his interactions on the boat, and his interactions with his family. So I think he's a great character, but not quite top tier for me. Now we have Hooper from Jaws as well, and I'm going to put him into Survived because he really doesn't do as much as you think. He goes, like, diving for, I forget why he's diving. It's been a while since I've seen this movie. But he doesn't really fight Jaws, like, directly. He just kind of ends up surviving by the end of it. But he is still a character you like and you like having around, so I'm not going to put him low and go that crazy, but, you know, he's, he doesn't do much. Now you have Chad Meeks Martin from Scream 5, 6, and 7. I did not say 6, 7. And much like Mindy, I do not care for this character all that much. And this is not because I hate the character that much, but I'm going to stick him into Should Have Died. I think he should have died in Scream 6. Not only because he got stabbed like 8 times, probably more than that, but I think it would have been a good emotional value, because it feels like there's no emotional stakes in Part 6, because nobody of value dies in that movie. So I think it would have added a little bit to the movie. I love his performance, and he's giving it his all, but he's just never been a character that I've really loved. And he kind of really annoys me in 7. I hate Mindy and Chad in Part 7. They annoy the hell out of me, and they have pointless existence, where he just gets stabbed again and survives. So he could just get stabbed in every single movie and survive. So I think he should be dead at this point. Not that I hate the character that much, but yeah, he probably should have died. Now we have Charlie Brewster from the Fright Night movies. I think I've only seen the first one, but I'm assuming he's in more. I'm putting it up in the top. I mean, I have always loved this character because he gets the girl in the end. He's got some good comedy moments. He's a great person. He's fighting for the vampires the entire time. He's trying to get people to believe it. So I really like Charlie. So he's going up in the top. Now we have Shaun from Shaun of the Dead. And I'm not going to quite put him into the top tier. I'm going to put him into badass because, he's not one of my personal favorite final boys, but, you can't disrespect Shaun. He goes from this, lazy loner, just absolute nobody to a badass in the end of the movie. So, it's just because kind of like that first half where he's just a nothing character that is really holding him back from the top tier for me. Now we have the kid from Terrifier 2. I don't remember his name, but it's Sienna's sister. He fights back a little bit, but for me, I'm not a fan of Terrifier 2, and I enjoy Terrifier 3 significantly more than the first two, but not the biggest fan of that movie either. So I'm gonna put him into meh. I didn't really care, honestly. I love Sienna. She was in the top tier for Final Girls, but I just didn't really care that much. Now we have Finney from The Black Phone, and I love Finney. I think he's fantastic in the first movie because he's flawed. You can tell he's scared shitless, but he's willing to do what he has to do to survive and make it out. So the only thing that would really knock him down a little bit is the second Black Phone movie, which he's still good. He's still capable in. I love the Black Phone so much. It's one of the top 2 tiers. I just don't want to fill up screw it. I'm filling up the top tier. He's a top tier final boy for me. Speaking of top tier final boy, we have Tommy Jarvis right up to the top. My favorite final boy of all time. He's obviously from my favorite franchise of all time, Friday the 13th. You get him in part 4 as a kid. You get him in part 5 as like a mute, middle-aged person. And then you get him as his hot Tom Matthews version in part 6. So, yeah, super capable, super badass, fantastic final boy. Now we have, I forget his name, from Phantasm. And I know, I love whimsy. I love whimsy movies. I love mindfucks, but I don't really care for Phantasm. I'm going to stick him in the middle, because, he's still a good character to follow. I like him, but he's never really stood out to me. Now we have Andy Barclay, and this is solely because of Cult of Chucky that I cannot put him in the top tier. I love him in 1, 2, and 3 of Child's Play, but because of his absolutely moronic plan in Cult of Chucky and just how he's just so stupid in that movie, I can't put him in the top tier, but he is fantastic, so I have him up there. Now, again, I don't remember his name, but we have the kid from People Under the Stairs. And I put him on the list because I was shocked by how much I enjoyed this character. I'm going to put him into badass. He is a badass little kid. He is obviously breaking into the house. So he starts off as kind of like the villain, kind of like Arkin from The Collector, where he starts off in the wrong and then over the course of the movie discovers that there's something more sick and twisted going on in here, and he is willing to fight to try and save this girl. So I really like him and his relationship with Ving Rhames, so he's a great character. Now we have Jared Padalecki from Friday the 13th, 2009, and about as basic of a final boy as you can get. I'll just put him right in the middle there. He's fine, he's there to be eye candy and fight Jason, so yeah, alright. Now we have Rick Moranis from The Little Shop of Horrors. He is a very sympathetic character. I like his relationship with Audrey, and his relationship with Audrey too. I love Audrey too. I think Audrey too, it sounds like a guy, so I'm going to say Audrey too is, I love Audrey too, and his whole relationship with him, so I like his, inner conflict. I'm still only going to put him in the middle. I feel like you can't put him any higher than that, but, he's pretty good. Now we have the guy from, I forget his name, from Jason Goes to Hell. Meh. He's not really like a character. He's just kind of like a guy that you're following, and he's all right. He's just meh. Now we have Cillian Murphy from 28 Days Later. Great character. Do I put him in the top tier? I'm not going to put him in the top tier, but I am going to stick him in badass. He's a great character. You get a clear sense of his morals. He's scared shitless, but he's willing to fight for what's right. He's a great character, and one of the reasons why I love 28 Days Later so much is his romance and his characterization. So, now we have Michael from The Lost Boys, and this is going to be my hottest take of the video, I can tell. But I'm just going to put him in the middle. I like him. I like his performance. Not one of my favorite Final Boys of all time. I think he's all right. I know a lot of people love The Lost Boys. It's not one of my favorite vampire films of all time, but still pretty good. And yeah, he's great, but I wouldn't say he's one of my personal favorites. I just think he's average. Now we have, again, forgetting their names. I should have wrote them down. We have the guy from Hostel. He's pretty good. He does end up surviving obviously, it's Final Boys, they all end up surviving. But I'm gonna put him in the middle. Like, he's about as basic of a Final Boy as you can get. He fights the killer, he ends up killing the killer, but then he does get killed in part 2, actually. But still, he kills the like, tormentor and eventually escapes. So if you just don't watch part 2, he has a happy ending, but about as basic of a Final Boy as you can get. He does make some dumb decisions, so that's kind of what I have, like, knocking him down a little bit, is that he walks into, like, this abandoned warehouse because some hot girls tell him to, so, yeah, not the best. Now we have Dewey Riley. He's one of my favorites. I'm putting him up in the top as well. Just so sympathetic, so sweet, such a down-to-earth character that you just absolutely love. And that's how you know, like, in, like, Scream 5, when he's all weathered and serious, that's how you know that, like, it's built on him, his whole life, like, you know, having to deal with, like, 10 Ghostface killers, having a couple failed relationships with Gale. Like, he is such a sympathetic character, and David Arquette plays him to perfection, so I love his character. Now we have Tucker and Dale from Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I don't like this movie all that much. I don't think it's very funny. Tucker, who I think is I think Dale is, why can't I not, Andrew Tudyk, but, Alan Tudyk, but Tucker is very sympathetic, so I'll put him in the middle here. Like I said, not a huge fan of the movie. They're capable, they got some funny moments, but not like the best Final Boys of all time. And yes, I looped them together, because the movie's called Tucker and Dale. I'm putting them together as one. Now I have the kid from Fear Street. I'll be honest, his relationship with Dina is fine, but we're more focused on Dina and Sam, and he's just kind of like off in the background, so meh. He's never been like one of the standout characters of Fear Street for me. I love the Fear Street trilogy, but he's just kind of he's just the most like okay character. I care more about the rest of the characters in the movie. Now we have is this guy's name Jesse as well? I think this is Jesse from, if it's not, whatever. But the guy from Bride of Chucky. If you guys saw my Child's Play ranking, it was my last video. You know, I hate the main couple in Bride of Chucky. Should have died. God, I hate these two. They are so, like, oh, we need to run away and go get married. And it's just, it's so stupid, because in the next scene, they're like, you're a murderer. And they're accusing the other person of murder. If it was just like, oh, he's accusing Jade of murder, because I think that's the girl's name, then it would be like, oh, what a crappy boyfriend. But in this case, they're both like, no, you're a murderer. No, you're a murderer. It's like, you guys just got married. Shouldn't you trust the other person to know that they probably wouldn't murder somebody? But they don't. They keep accusing each other of murder. They're just so insufferable. It actively ruins Bride of Chucky for me, so I do not like this character whatsoever. Now we have the guy from Wolf Creek, and I wanted to throw him on here because he's the definition of survived by chance. Like, he just happened to survive. Like, everybody else died. He just happened to survive. So, meh. Like, he's not even that good of a character. I'm pretty sure this is kind of like the, like, jock guy. But, yeah, it's just like he survived because they needed a survivor. Like that's pretty much it. Now we have Will from Freddy vs. Jason, and even my bias towards Freddy vs. Jason can't catapult him any higher than just meh. I like Laurie in the movie. She's fine. If you saw my my Final Girls tier list, I think she was in the middle, but he's just okay. Like he's an all right character. He doesn't have much personality. He's just kind of like a boyfriend guy. So yeah, like not the best, but he's all right. Like if I'm following him for the movie, I'm not gonna be upset. And that is my completed horror movie Final Boys tier list. If there was any I missed, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. I tried to pick most of the most popular ones, threw a couple on there just to have them fill out the tiers a little bit because I knew they'd be lower. Let me know where you agree, where you disagree in the comment section down below, respectfully, of course. But yeah, let's head to an outro. And that is going to be it for today's video. Remember, if you did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe. So anyone want to see more videos like it in the future, hit the bell notification to be notified when I post any brand new videos. And until next time, comment down below some more video ideas for me, because I know that you guys have your thoughts on what you want to see. Like this video. This video was a request from the comment section that I had no plan on doing, so it works. If you comment down below videos for me and I see it, I will most likely do it. So until next time, I'm Ethan Horror. This has been Ethan Horror.